Sound check. 1, 2, guys. Can everybody hear me? Just making sure. Go ahead and just let me know in the comments there, and then we'll get started here. Sounds good. Thank you there, Joe. Happy Tuesday, adventurers. I want to say sorry about last week to you all, and also our guest this week. I had him scheduled for last week, and lo and behold, ADHD it struck, and I forgot that we had a couple's day date scheduled. We had a day date scheduled with Jeremiah Stringer. If you know anything about backpacking, the king himself of Kentucky backpacking, but we're pretty good buddies. We're both in the same hometown. We got together, me, him, my prettier half, Brandy, of course. Y'all don't know her name. And then we had his prettier half, Miss Bridget. We all hung out. We went swimming in the morning before it started raining, unfortunately. That's why we had to change our trip. We were originally going to backpack and camp down at Cave Run and swim and stuff, have a good time. But we decided with the rain coming, we would forego that and come back and do a little day trip together. We done some swimming, had lunch, went to Lexington, did some escaping, had some dinner, came back, had a few, libations, played some games, and just a great night. Awesome time. Always love hanging out with Mr. Stringer. He's an awesome time. And you know what? Let's get this thing started. Like I said, happy Tuesday. And I don't know if y'all are lucky, but I consider myself lucky. Y'all get to see me twice this week. That's right. We're going to do 2 this week because of last week, and then we may have something special scheduled later on, but we're going to keep that in wraps. But anyways, guys, our guest this week, well, last week, I guess we could say, is fellow adventurer, lover of nature, AT hiker, Mr. Thomas, and if I say it wrong, I'm sorry. He can get on here and correct me. It's all good. McQuistion.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man. So hopefully I said that correctly, but if you want to go ahead and just tell everybody about yourself, what you do, where they can find you, I know, and then we'll get things started here.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually one of the better pronunciations I've heard first time. So good job. Yeah, again, my name is Thomas McQuiston. I often go by TJ. Really over at Instagram at Earthchild Adventures. I also have a Facebook under Thomas McQuiston and a YouTube as well as Earthchild Adventures. So yeah, I do a lot of hiking, do a lot of camping. This year I actually tried a AT through hike. Unfortunately, due to injury, I had to get off at mile 546.
We got you back here, man.
Okay. We all good?
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. You good?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We lost you there when you said mile 546 on the AT.
I had to mile 546 due to injury. So that was a fun experience. The whole thing overall, the injury was kind of a bummer, but it happens. It is a very, very challenging hike. Roughly 48 days on trail, I think it was total.
So, man, I can't say that I've never been there, so that's definitely, lo and behold, that'd be the biggest adventure I'd ever been on. But so how did you get on the? I know that you said you're an avid adventurer, hiker, and stuff. What made you decide to go on the AT? And if I'm not mistaken, are you a fellow veteran?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay, I was just wondering. You seen where you were? You hiked with a few of the guys that I think were hiking with Packs the Purpose.
Yes, I was. Longshot and Witch Doctor, they're still out there.
Okay, yep. That's what I was thinking. Mr. Josh Acey, I've been linking up with him. He's the the man behind the scenes for Packs the Purpose. We're gonna have him on in a few weeks. So I
Dude.
seen where you'd had been on their tags and stuff, and I was just wondering.
Yeah, I ran into those guys literally the first night. And it's kind of funny. Both Longshot and Witch Doctor are very tall, 6'6" plus. I'm 5'10", so it just became a game of like, I'll get there in like an hour. Like I got. Longshot actually gave me my trail name, Gimli, because it was the scene from Lord of the Rings, just me constantly behind them. But great dude. I talked to him on the phone a few times with Witch Doctor. Wonderful organization, what they're doing over there. It's truly, truly a great thing. He'll be a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, being a fellow veteran, I was great to learn about them, and I think it's kind of because I started. We started talking, and somehow Facebook, you know how it is, it listens in on you.
Yes, it
And
does.
then I started seeing more and more of your posts, and then I seen the Packs to Purpose, and then I'd been talking to Josh, and it just kind of put things together there. And but yeah, man. So yeah, we have someone said, hell yeah, 48 days. Mr.
Yep.
Joe up there, Mr. Joe Loop. He's not far from the AT up there in PA. So where are you from, man? You sound like,
Yeah.
you said West Virginia?
Oh, Pennsylvania. Northern,
Pennsylvania.
right on Lake Erie.
Okay. Ooh. Almost dang near Canada.
We're actually the town I'm from. People swim to Long Point, the shortest swim across.
Sure.
Yeah, beautiful area. Lake's obviously right there. I live like 5 minutes away from. A lot of times I'll grill food and drive down to the lake to watch the sunset. It's just a cool area. Flat compared to the AT, but yeah.
So you was talking about them guys being tall, and we're about the same height. I'm 5'11". I've always wanted to be, over 6 foot. Never happened. All of my cousins and uncles and everybody else is. I just wasn't blessed, I guess. But I'm sure you're familiar, like I said, with Mr. Stringer. And if you've ever met him, you know that he's about 6 foot. He says 6'3". I'm thinking closer to 6'5". But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I'm a pretty good hiker, and I can get going pretty good. But keeping up with him's just like, it's tiring. Like he would definitely probably make it there twice as fast as I would, just because his strides 2, 3, 4, maybe my steps to his 2.
Oh yeah. We were laughing the one day. It was like, I think a 17-ish mile day. And I'm like, oh wow, I did like 64,000 steps. And the guy looked at his phone, Witch Doctor, he's like, yeah, like 52. I'm like, man, this is what. Come on, guys. But it was a blast. You learn a lot about yourself. Longshot, actually, my first night on Springer Mountain, I did the approach trail. Highly don't recommend that. If you do the AT, it's avoidable. You can start at Springer. There's a road that goes there now. But it's essentially almost 10 miles straight uphill that starts with 600 steps. Your bag is never heavier. You are never in worse shape. You are never carrying more useless crap you don't need. And you'll hate your life. But yeah, so I met him the first night. Literally, I walked past him at the shelter and went down to the spring and died for about an hour trying to rehydrate. Came back up and he saw me struggling and he's like, well, let me do a bag shakedown. 2 days later, I mailed home 5 pounds worth of stuff I didn't need. And
oh man,
the next morning I woke up and started walking, and we just kind of followed him for 49 or 48 days. So
we have Mr. Joe. He said he's about 60 miles south of Erie up there.
Okay, Venango County. Familiar with that area. I go down to Crawford County quite a bit.
Okay, man. So you said 5 pounds of useless stuff. I want to know, give me 3 of the biggest, useless, heaviest items that you sent back.
My chair. So I had a Helinox chair that never even got used. It's amazing after 12 miles of hiking how soft dirt looks. That's a recliner. I got my Tyvek, right? I'm good. I have a Z-Pack Flex tent, the classic. It's a trekking pole tent, but I also have the pole kit for it. That got sent home immediately, and all my cold weather gear went right home. I'm talking my puffer, my gloves, my hat. The only thing I kept were my base layers, and those were my only extra clothes. Those were my sleep clothes. So
Yep. Sound like a thru hiker.
Yeah, pretty much you got your shorts and your shirt, and then you change into whatever's cleaner at night, and then yeah.
I'm still a weekend warrior here. I'd be the one I would definitely probably keep a stool just because I don't like sitting on the ground. You say, but I've done a 15-mile day and I still wanted to. I still had my stool. Even started a fire that night too. I'm just who I am, I guess.
Yeah, I know. The only actually my sit pad was even the what was it? It was the cheapest, thinnest, smallest one they make. I think it was from Garage Grown Gear.
Okay, the Gossamer Gear one, the little 1/8-inch roller one.
No, it was it's like a 1/2 inch. It was from Garage Grown Gear, $10. Literally folds 4x10.
Mm-hmm.
But that worked good for me. Yeah, but honestly, by the time I got done, I was either sitting on a log or laying on my ass eating food. That was about it.
Okay, man. So now that we've got to know each other a little bit better and everything, over the last 10 minutes, you've done quite, like you said, quite a bit of hiking. You're up there in PA, one of my favorite areas that I haven't got to do a lot of hiking and exploring in yet. But what's your favorite area to adventure and why?
Immediately close to me, about an hour and a half away, I have the Allegheny Forest. There's a lot. My buddy and I have a few spots we'll go to. The one is you park up, you set your tent 10 feet off the road the weekend and don't do a dang thing. Other ones I'll go and do little section hikes of 20-mile hikes. There's actually a particular trail. It's Minister Creek. It's a mile loop. I've probably completed that loop half a dozen to a dozen times. I'll be down there and be like, oh, it's a 6-mile walk in the woods. And it's nice. It's a beautiful walk. There's a couple of water crossings. There's a nice area where there's like 4 or 5 foot tall ferns you get to walk through. Just everything that's fun about hiking is there. Some rock climbing.
I was gonna say y'all got as they say, Rocksylvania up through there. I've done a few up through there. I've done Cowan's Gap, state park there. That I'm just gonna tell you, 10 miles with over 2,000 foot elevation. I was like, yeah, probably. One trail was straight up, one was straight down, and I was like, never again. We had Mr. Joe here. He said, have you ever done the Oil Creek trails down there?
One little section, but I was actually just looking at a part of it on All Trails today. I haven't been in the woods for 3 weeks, and it's really bugging me. So I want to go set my hammock up. I want to set my tent up. I would, either way. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, you said hammock, so that means you definitely hammock camp as well. What kind of hammock do you have?
I have a couple. The one I've been using lately is the Hammock Gear Sarcadian Pro. I like it. I've only used it one time, but I like it. The thing I like the most is the new tarp that I have with them. It's the one that has the doors, their winter tarp.
Okay, the Journey.
Yeah, it's still like 15 ounces, which is for that big of a tarp. I'm pretty happy.
I got the exact same setup. I'm running the Circadian Pro with the. They don't make it anymore, unfortunately, but I think I got one of the last ones because it wasn't long after I bought it. I wanted to go back to look, and they didn't sell 950 feel anymore. So I got the last ones of like his ultralight 70 in or outer underquilt, 40 degree. I got it, I think, an ounce overstuffed.
Okay.
And it's 950 feel. I think it was like 14 ounces is all it weighed.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then, of course, I use the Circadian Pro as well. I love it. I got 2 setups, my deep winter setup and my 3-season 40. Like I said, I've had it below 40 because I got it overstuffed. And then I use a Jaxar Better top quilt.
Okay.
And it's everything that they rate it for. I mean, that's comfort. I can go 5 degrees below comfort and still be comfortable.
That's good. I know I have the 20 degree underquilt. I think it's the Hearth. And I actually, when I went out between Christmas and New Year's, my buddy and I went out and did part of the Foothills Trail in I think it was South Carolina, and it got down to 19 at night. I carry a thermometer with me. That's how I test my gear. If the limit's that, I'm gonna go test it. I'm gonna have a thermometer, and I'm gonna be like, okay, that sucked. I didn't wake up cold. I woke up once to get out and pee, and that was pretty bad to hop back in because your down loses all your warmth then.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that paired with my Enlightened Equipment 20-degree top quilt, I was roasting. I was very happy with it. They're a great setup. I wished I could have taken it, but ultimately with the through hike, I hate to be that grams, ounces, pounds guy, but my tent weighed 17.2 ounces. So
I know.
yeah.
Well, and then you have some people that say, I'll just cowboy camp and sleep in the shelters, and they'll just have a tarp and no shit. It'll just be a tarp and sleep underneath the stars. I ain't that big of one, and I'm gonna tell you, I'd probably still bring my hammock.
I wished, in a way, I would have taken it, but I know I wouldn't have been happy with the extra weight. I mean, there were times where if I had 1.5 liters of water and I was a mile from the water source, I didn't need that liter of water. I would dump it. Just because I know I don't want to carry distance. That was a hard thing to learn. Dumping water.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Mike here. He kind of said everything there. Great setup with the hammock gear, 30 degree Quest and Journey Rainflies. Yeah, he's the one who got me on the hammock gear, that Journey Rainfly, and then I had it modified to where I can use the internal poles on it as well. And I'm going to tell you, if you can, if you go back and I don't know if you may be able to use Trevor's poles and his attachments, but I had him. He sent me a picture, and I had him customize it to put the mini BCDs on the inside above the door, above the corners, so that way I could have a separate place to put the poles into. Okay. But you want to talk about when you put those in, it's like so much room.
Yeah, I really enjoy the hammock. Actually, I know we've briefly talked about Dolly Sods. My buddy and I do about a 5 to 6 day hammock hang down there every summer, solely because blueberries are in season. That's the only reason we go down. Blueberries fresh every morning.
Huh. You have to let me know when you're doing that, because that'd be pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. I love Dolly Sods, and I've never been there. I've been there in the wintertime, and I want to say the first time was right on the edge of winter and spring.
Okay, so that whole area, Tucker County, a very good friend from work grew up in that area, so she gave me like a 5-page cheat sheet of what to do one weekend. And I went down. I went to Blackwater Falls. I think we talked briefly. I did Seneca Rocks. I spent some time in Dolly Sods, and since then I've been back to Dolly Sods, I think 6 times. It's just a beautiful area. Like I said, we'll go. Last year we went for, I think it was 6 days, and 3 days I went and picked blueberries in the morning, and it's only like 1.5 miles where we'll set up our hammocks from the car, and I'll walk that in the morning to go back to my car to the pantry where we keep extra stuff to come back and make the food. It's, we make it a relaxing camping trip.
So where y'all camping at when you go there, if you don't mind me asking?
Almost all the way down to Red Creek. If you go all the way up to Bear Rocks and go down to Red Creek, there's gonna be a trail that goes to the left. We go down a bit, and we have a spot that cuts back up. We found a few spots. A lot of it is you're wandering. I'm like, oh, there's a fire pit. Now this is a nice spot. I'll stay here tonight. I found the first time I went down there, I walked, I think 3 miles, and I found 12 camp spots.
Yeah. So Dolly that was my first ever 20-mile weekend trip. And we did the entire outer loop, and and like you said, since then I've been back 3 or 4 times. West Virginia, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, it has my heart when it comes to backpacking and outdoors. I mean, my buddy, I don't know if he's in here. I call him, he's the worst producer ever because he's never in here helping me in the chat. But Mr. Rich, he's kind of the OG channel guy. He's my second West Virginia trip and most memorable one because we hiked. If you know Cranberry Wilderness, I'm sure you know the area. So we done a loop out there. I wanted to go out there and find the plane crash that was out there.
Okay.
Well, we found it, but the loop that he made, let's just say it was 8 miles the first day, 1 mile an hour through about quarter inch to half inch of snow. I'm in trail runners and finding the trail because there was no trail. That's why it was so slow.
That doesn't sound that sounds fun. Sounds challenging for sure.
Yeah, and his thing was, oh, I was just seeing if he was a real backpacker, bro. Or if he's just one of them content creators that go out and just do a couple of miles and shoot several different shots and just go back to your car. I'm like, nah, I actually enjoy the outdoors, so I'm definitely going to be. I mean, I'm in it for the hike. I mean, I'm the guy who goes to hammock hangs and plans hikes.
That's the one thing that I'm terrible at is I'm like, oh, I'll make sure I take video. I'll make sure I record. I'll make sure I take pictures. I have so much fun just sitting there looking. Like, I'll explain to somebody that this sunset was the most beautiful sunset ever because I had to hike 7 miles to see it. I need to get better at that. Actually, in 2024 I traveled the country. I went to all 48 states on a road trip. And I took a lot of pictures then, but on my AT hike, I didn't take very many at all, unfortunately.
So you said you done a road trip.
Yeah. So in 2024, I sold everything I owned, and what I couldn't sell, I just threw out. I ripped all the seats out of my Jeep Compass. I built the flat platform, put a memory foam bed in there, threw my cat and her cat litter box and a fridge in there, and we went to 48 states.
Please tell me that I'm gonna have to go look at your channel because do you have this on there? Because this would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Some of it, yeah. It was a blast. My cat's leash trained, so she actually has done some small hikes with me. She hiked part of the Grand Canyon South Rim Trail with me. She's been to Hoover Dam. She hiked across San Diego. She climbed up a redwood. So I figured it was her first time alive. She might as well go see cool stuff as well.
Oh yeah. Not gonna lie, I like taking my dog on trail, and I don't have to half the time if I know it's not gonna be nobody on trail, she's not even on a leash because she never leaves my side. She stays right there with me, and the only thing I do is when I go to bed, I do put her on her lead just because she's an explorer. When I'm sleeping, I don't want her out there exploring.
That's fair. I actually I want to get her camping with me. My biggest fear is I don't want her scratching my $1,000 tent. What I'll probably do is have an old Kelty. It's a man and a half, I think they call it. It's not a good backpacking tent, but it's a good tent that I could set up and kind of see how she reacts in one. But we stayed in my car. Like I said, with having a mattress in the car, I'd never paid for a campsite, parked wherever I wanted to. It was just a fun thing to do, I guess. And that's kind of what got me wanting to do the AT. Is I was up in New Jersey and I have a twin sister, and I would call her and I'd be like, hey, I'm in New Jersey, find me something to do. And she told me about a hike that bordered the AT, and it was actually Sunfish Pond. And I hiked part of it, and I'm like, wow, I think I want to hike the AT. And that was when I kind of started kicking that around.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unless something happens and I do become unemployed or something, I don't know. I don't even think my wife would still let me do that, but I would definitely. It's a bucket list thing for me. I guess I'll have to be the 60-year-old man out there getting down with it.
Tell you what, I've seen some of those guys pack miles. We met one guy, I think he was 83. They called him Crabs because he'll get there.
8 miles a day, 10 miles a day. They'll eventually get there.
Oh yeah.
Good thing with retirement is you have time.
Yeah, exactly. They can take all the time. We always said Maine's not going anywhere. I'm kind of working through this injury right now. Today was actually the first day I've been able to hike over 2 miles. It was just a 3-mile walk. Okay, I'm glad I was able to do it, but I'm curious how I'll feel tomorrow. But,
so, if you don't mind me asking, what injury was it? Something in your leg? I'm guessing leg.
Something in the back of my left leg. I lost insurance when I took a leave of absence. So long story short, I had to go back to work, which I needed to anyway. But it's something in the back of the knee. I have a friend who's a nurse, said it probably ought to ask him about meniscus. I'm like, well, I've got to go to the doctor to begin with. I plan on hitting back. I actually wanted to try to finish Pennsylvania this summer and fall. I'll walk through the pain, but I have to be able to walk enough mileage to do it. That's
Mhm. Okay. I thought we lost you there for a quick second.
sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay, man. So, getting back on a little bit of topic here, we asked what I asked what your favorite area to adventure in was, but what has been your least favorite?
Um, Overall, oh man, I don't know. Um, the area that I've explored that I've honestly not much cared for, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, is Florida. Only because when I was there, I wasn't able to do a lot because of the situation that I was there in. I had my cat with me, so it's not like I could get out and walk around for a couple hours. So like when I went to the Everglades, I went to the Everglades Park. I was very limited on how long I could leave my car. And that's the only really thing I would say I didn't like. I mean, I've hiked in the rain and that sucks, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes that experience becomes more. But I guess that was the only thing I can say I haven't liked. It's just that experience.
I'm gonna say the only thing that I find fascinating in Florida is HangCon, and that's about it. Everybody says the beach and all this, but I'm not a beach guy. I'm a mountains. Get me out in the middle of nowhere. I'll do that every day, all day. And you know what? The beach is it's too overcrowded, too many people, and you know what? I can find the same thing with a lake in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. The only reason I really went to Florida is because I wanted my road trip to include all 48 states. And one of my little side quests I did on my road trip was go to the four extreme corners of the continental United States. So Key West was my
Key West.
point, which was beautiful. I actually slept on the side of the road in Key West on my car. Found a road with cars parked on both sides, backed in, and I have window blinds made, and just kind of sat there and listened to the free range chickens and roosters hang out.
Heck yeah. So I'd have to probably agree with you there. That'd probably be one of my least favorite areas would be Florida, just because I ain't into swamps and I ain't into heat. So
Like, happy.
about as far south as you'll get me is probably South Carolina into Georgia and a little bit of maybe Arkansas. I want to get out and do some Arkansas stuff. I've done a little bit down there, but been talking with another guy, kind of like you, who gets out and does a little bit of hiking, and he knows the area pretty well. And I'd like to get down there and do some things with him. So another area that's I think they got the. I'm probably gonna say this wrong, and I'm sorry for you, Arcanian, Arkansasians. I don't know how to, but you Razorback fans. But anyways, y'all just get our sloppy seconds, you know. But anyway, we're just talking Calipari there. But anyways, guys. So is it Wichita Mountains, Wachita? I don't know. It's I know I can't remember exactly the pronunciation, but if you know it, just go ahead and say I'm wrong in the chat there, and I'll live with it. But anyways, got off topic there, man. Happens a little bit.
Oh, it's hopefully expected.
Okay, so kind of like me, I can tell that you kind of love the outdoors. You're in PA, you go to West Virginia. Probably been doing this a while. You're probably at least my age, if not a few years older. I want to know, like, my stepdad is the one who got me into the outdoors. He's in here. I mean, he does watch it sometimes, but watches sometimes. But he's probably the biggest influence I've had for the outdoors. I just want to know who influenced you to get outside. Did you have that influence?
Oh, honestly, a lot of the big reason I got into, especially hiking, about 3 years ago, I was almost 500 pounds. Since then, I've lost close to 180 pounds, and I did it all from walking and just exercise and yoga, and I got into running and all that stuff. But I really just fell into hiking because oh, you mean I get to carry what I need in this backpack for that far? Oh, this looks fun, and I genuinely just enjoyed it. One of my first longer hikes was actually in Blackwater Falls down in West Virginia. And I loved it. It was one of the coolest things ever. And then the more I got into it, the more I'm like, oh, you mean I don't just have to drive somewhere? I can just go somewhere and walk 20, 30 miles and come back. And then I got into doing loops. And next thing you know, I'll go through a through hike. That sounds fun. But in my road trip, I actually took the time to hike in every state I was in. So I went to as many national parks as I could, hiked a lot of trails that way. So that kind of really got me even more into hiking. I got a new appreciation for just how beautiful it really was.
Heck yeah. Congrats on that, by the way. I can tell you from experience, losing that much weight is not something that is easily done, and keeping it off is even harder. I'm sure you've watched and know, I had bariatric surgery probably 2021-ish, and I was 420 pounds at my biggest. I'm roughly about 240 now, but and I'm just telling you, it's what got me. Once I started losing the weight, my cousin, who I'd been watching, he done a lot of. That's where I first saw hammock camping. I was like, oh, I didn't even know what. Excuse my French, anyways. What the hell that is? What the hell is that? And he's setting up a hammock. I'm like, you can camp in a hammock? Really? Where's this been my entire life? But I started losing the weight, and got into backpacking YouTube like most of us do. Once we seen the hammock camping, started researching that. And any person who gets on YouTube, I done that. Then it started showing up with backpacking, and then just kind of went down a rabbit hole after I started doing the camping and backpacking, and believe it or not, my cousin, and his name's Cutlass. We call him Cuddy. But my first trip I did was not. It was successful. Let's just say, in the trip, it was not successful in the communication to my wife and the placement of my vehicle. So, let's just say they broke me in great with my first trip. If you know the Red River Gorge in Kentucky,
oh yeah,
they took me up Indian Staircase with my pack on at right at dark. And it's like my second trip I've ever done. But yeah, that just because of them, that kind of got me into the whole backpacking thing. And since then, it's just kind of like you. I'm still on that quest, and I completed halfway of the Knobstone Trail before it was last year, and it's the hottest day of the year. It had to have been. It got up to about 100, and drinking a gallon of water just wasn't staying in us, and we got to about mile 25 out of 47, 48, I think is what that is. And we had to call it quits just because we couldn't keep the water in us or the calories, and it was just killing us. So that one I want to go back and probably retry again, but I've decided this fall I'm going to do the Foothills Trail. That's going to be my first through hike, and I'm going to try to do it over Labor Day is what I'm going to try to do.
Okay. That's beautiful down in there. I know you said you were having problems hydrating and calories. I ran into that problem on my through hike as well. And some of it is actually on my very first day, there was a 6-mile stretch with no water. So I did the opposite what you should do. You should taper your mileage 5 to 10, 10 to 15 progressively as the weeks go on. My first day, I did 17 miles. I just took off. And the last 6, we were actually without water, which was rough. I actually drank too much water, walked about 100 yards down trail, and then threw up, which was just the very last thing you want to do when you're already dehydrated. But I actually came across these recovery drinks. I make them myself. It's essentially an overly sugary protein cappuccino. And when you hit that issue where you can't stay hydrated and drink enough, and you can't get enough calories in you, those really give you about a quick 400 to 500 calories of protein and sugar, which I'm not saying sugar's great for you, but when you need that kick, it worked out well.
I ain't gonna lie. When it gets to that point, I'm usually eating candy, so.
Okay, yeah. Gummy clusters. I would keep I think it was an 8-ounce bag in my hip pocket. And just, those were little every step treats at sometimes,
Mm-hmm. I like the Sour Patch watermelon. That's my go-to, and I can sit down and eat a whole bag of them. I guess when I go on my through hike, I'll probably just get a big old huge bag of them.
I mean, the one day I carried, I think it was a pound bag of lemon cream cookies for the first night. So, what you'll carry with you, you're more accepting of carrying food weight than any other weight. Like, oh, I'll eat this the first night. It's worth carrying this extra large sub from the diner, you know?
Yes. Most. I'm not a through hiker, but I know exactly the mentality. And when you're out there and that first day and you're restocking, or like if you're like me, a weekend warrior, and you're coming in from a long drive and you're just picking up lunch, there ain't nothing better than having that leftover, whatever you had. As
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Stringer calls them, soggy Sammies.
Like, you wouldn't eat it 95% of the time, but like right now in the woods, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yes. Yes, sir. Okay, man.
One of your
So,
guys, he wants a big Pennsylvania Yins here.
yes.
That's a Pittsburgh thing, and I'm not gonna lie, that geeks me out pretty good. So I just, how Yin's doing tonight, I guess, is the best I can do for you right now.
One more question. Do you call it crick or creek?
So I live in Harbor Creek, but I'll often say the word crick. And I do the same thing with pop and soda. For some reason, I interchange those words frequently.
I call everything pop.
Yeah.
Go get me a pop.
I spend a lot of time in South Carolina. I actually have a buddy who lives down there who bought a house with an in-law apartment solely so when I visit, I have a place to stay. So huge shout out for that. That was awesome. But I spend so much time down there, I get recognized as a northerner right away, which is funny because you don't realize it when you're up here. But apparently we inherently walk faster and drive slightly more aggressive.
I mean, that sounds about right. Usually, the further south you go, the more hospitality you have, and the slower the slower you go, because you'll eventually get there.
Yeah, like I said, I'll get there at some point, But
Oh, we got Mr. Ben on here from Facebook. He's a buddy that I've done a few trips with. He says he always brings a ton of food and don't eat it. I could translate that to real life and at home. I would be slim and trim like you guys.
So one of the things in food wise is at first I would carry a little too much food, but we would find that to be a good thing because one of my favorite nights on trail, and it would happen every 3 to 4 nights, is double dinner night, where you sit down and immediately eat a dinner, and while you're eating, you cook another dinner. So that's when you thru hike, when you do your foothills hike, make sure to plan a day or two where you have 2 dinners. It'll just really boost up your enjoyment level of the whole thing, quite honestly.
Gotcha. We got Ursa on here. She said Harbor Creek go Huskies. I'm guessing that's a sports team that you all have there.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the Harbor Creek Huskies.
No idea what that is. So,
it's the high school mascot, the Husky. The school graduated great picker, and actually at one point when I was in school, we got sued because one mascot looked too much like a Martian.
Huh.
So, a little random small town Pennsylvania fact for you.
So, man, as you know, I'm into more than just, like I said, backpacking, hiking, into that. I'm into more like getting ready to start heading out and do a lot more kayaking and kayak camping. I want to know, do you do any other type of outdoor recreation like that besides hiking, backpacking, and stuff?
I haven't got into the kayaking yet, but actually right over my shoulder, we have a trailer full of kayaks. I think there's a total of 11 between what's on the trailer and what's hung up. My sister, all her kids, my mom, all of them kayak. It's just never been my thing. A lot of it is because I weighed too much for the longest time. I want to get into kayak. I actually from Lake Erie, in theory, you can get to the Gulf of Mexico pack rafting. So I want to try to do that in 2028. So I'm going to have to learn how to kayak and raft. But that's just one of my far out crazy adventures. Plus, like Ursula just said here, the Allegheny is a lot of beautiful kayaking and canoeing. Just gorgeous there.
Yes. That's something I've done a little bit. I got into that actually before hiking and backpacking when I was still bigger. Like you said, hard to find a kayak. I searched, and we had to save a little because they were, as you know, as you get the kayaks that you can hold more weight on, it costs more money.
Oh,
So, but we finally got it all together, and we got ones. I was able to do it just because they had a weight limit of 450 pounds,
Okay.
which is great now because now I can hold all the gear and me.
Which one do you use?
I use a Crescent light tackle. It's a 12-foot kayak, tons of hole storage because it's got a big open bow with a cover over it. You open that up, and the whole thing is open, so you can put stuff in there, and it's easy to pull stuff out. Love it. Fits a cooler right behind the seat, like cooler is about like that. It's a roto cooler.
Okay.
Probably I think it's 20 quart, 24 quart, something like that. More than enough to fit a weekend of good food. That's the best thing about kayak camping. It's like car camping, and that's when I bring the biscuits and gravy, the French toast, the stuff that you get to make at home, and that's exactly what I do. I bring I make a low country boil. I'll make that and bring it, and have steak and everything. Like you said, if you can name it, and I've made shrimp Alfredo. I've made just about anything and everything when I'm out there doing that type of camping.
That's what's nice about camping, and you can have car camping, which I'll have my griddle, I'll have a propane burner with a skillet, I'll have a cooler, and then you can do backpacking where it's like I'll have ramen noodles and tuna. Just the contrast I find it fun.
Speaking of the man himself, we got Richard in the comments now. What's up, Mr. Producer? Where was you at 30 minutes ago? How dare you? Anyway, man, so let me flip it on here. I do a little preparation. Sometimes we stick to it, sometimes we don't. But anyways, since I titled it Trail Life and everything, we'll talk a little bit about trail life now, I guess you could say.
Okay.
When you're out on trail, what's your favorite part? Why? And I'm just going to say my favorite part is getting to camp and taking the shoes off and sitting down as soon as I get there, just taking a load off.
Yeah, that's tough to beat. So traditionally, like, especially when we were on the AT, one of the first things I do before I even set camp up is I make sure I camel up and get as much water as I can. That's kind of like the last chore of the day. It gets to the point where, and you know this, if you set your hammock up in your sleep system up 4, 5, 6 nights in a row, after a while you're just click, click, click. Oh, it's done. So, even like my tent setup would be 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. My favorite part was actually dinner. I'll be honest. It was dinner. I have a thing where I don't like cleaning my cooking pot, and that started this whole side quest into doing my own dehydrated and freeze-dried backpacking meals, which that's a whole nother tangent rabbit hole that'll take forever. I invested way too much time and effort into it, but it worked well. So, like, for dinner, instead of just eating ramen noodles, I would have like chicken Alfredo with chicken TVP. It's a textured vegetable protein with real Alfredo sauce, freeze-dried Alfredo sauce. I always carried olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic. And one of the reasons why that hot, especially as good as it was so important to me, is at the end of the day, that was my only luxury. I didn't have a chair. I didn't have all those comfort items. I even mailed my pillow home. I just used my empty dry stuff around it. So that hot meal was it was everything at the end of the day, especially on the cold and rainy days.
I feel you there. That's probably a very close second. Some days, like I'll tell you, it ties with getting to camp and taking a load off, because especially I'm gonna tell you that first night, if you had a big, long, very hard day, that first day, and you're like, damn, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And man, I'm just gonna tell you, if you have, did you watch the most recent video, the trip to Otter Creek? If you haven't,
but not all.
But in there, I actually made a short of it. We did Tim Buckley. He's kind of turned me on to these Hereford Rip and Ready meat packs recently, and I'm just going to tell you, the best one, hands down, is the roast beef with gravy. Man, it's good. It's Hereford Rip and Ready roast beef. I'll get that, and then I'll get the Idaho protein mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I prefer the garlic. The loaded's pretty good too. I prefer to use one of those two, and then I'll get a couple pieces of the Heiner's 35 calorie white bread, and I'll sit there and I'll make a open face roast beef. And I'm just going to tell you that's probably going to be my new favorite meal after a long day of hiking. I think it's like I'm going to tell you it's like 1,100 calories, but it's got like 80 grams of protein in it.
That's what you want. You want the protein, you want the calories. If you want, I'll send you a couple of the dinners, test them out, and get your opinion on it. That would mean a lot.
Heck yeah, man. I'd love that. I'm always down to, you said freeze dried, you done your own, which means it's definitely going to have way better flavor than anything Mountain House or anything because I've had a few of the, trail goods and stuff like that. And you could tell when you get those that it's something that's been cooked and properly seasoned and tried and then freeze dried.
Yeah. There's actually, so we'll talk about one of my favorite dinners, and I'll make sure I send it to you, is Thanksgiving dinner. It's got freeze dried potatoes, and I also put flakes and I put some chunks only because the rehydrate time is different, so you get texture. One of the biggest things that I found backpacking meals don't have is any texture. It's all the same. I even have stuffing, dehydrated cranberries, corn in there, gravy, TVP. It's a textured vegetable protein. It's very high in protein. That's actually the base of all the meals. But when you whip out a Thanksgiving dinner and it smells like Thanksgiving dinner next to somebody in a shelter, you get some looks. But I'll mail you a couple of those. I think you'll enjoy them.
Heck yeah, man. I'll have to try those on a trip. I'll definitely try them, and they'll be in the video. You'll believe that. And
yeah, they're a cook in the bag type of thing. Some of them, I have some that are pasta based. Those I use ramen noodles as the noodles because you can buy those anywhere on trail. So when you mail the pack, what you carry at a time is smaller than what you actually need. You just add a bag of ramen noodles to it, and you got a pad thai, a nice little pad thai.
Heck yeah, that's like I said. They also Chef Boyar Buckley. He's the first one that he gave me was the spaghetti with meatballs from Hereford, and that's what we done with the noodles. It's your pasta noodles. Just don't put the packing in it, and just put the sauce and meatballs on top.
And they hydrate so fast, and you can get them everywhere. I spent some time trying to find a better carbohydrate, a better pasta. And you can't. It's just hard.
I seen someone, I don't know who it was, but they used rice noodles, and I just don't know or what. Yeah, it was like it was rice noodles, and they were like almost clear, and not something that I think I would want to have. I think I'd rather have them the raw, like you said, ramen. It's tried and true, like rehydrates so easily, and I mean you can use it for just about anything.
Yeah, it's universal. I mean, we've all had ramen bombs. Those are always fun.
See you later, Mike. Take it easy out there. Be safe. Mike's a truck driver. He gets on here when he can. He's another big supporter of the channel. Okay, man. So we talked about your favorite part. What's your least favorite part? And it cannot be the hiking part.
Oh, honestly, it's putting on wet socks the day after. Because your day hasn't started yet, and you're already you regret every decision that led you to that point. And yeah, that's the hardest thing. I mean, I had extra socks, but I only had 2 pair. I had a pair and then my hiking pair. That was tough. That's a very hard mental wall and a lot of the times, you wear your socks 4 or 5 days in a row. They would kind of hold the shape and the form. So it's I don't want to put my foot in that, but I have to. That was rough. The smell was very bad too. The smell was bad.
Gotcha. I'm going to let you know, very similar. Mine is putting on my shirt because I sweat so much the next day when you put it on, it's just cold and wet.
Yeah, it's just like you'll get over it, but for that minute you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So you told me you make your own food and all this, so I'm sure you're gonna pick something you make. But I want to know what's your favorite meal when you're on trail and why.
When I was on trail,
It could be when you're on the AT, any hike you've done, any. What is your favorite meal?
so actually, like on the trail, I think my all-time favorite food was my buddy brought in the stuff to make sausage gravy and biscuits. We were just doing like a 2-day in and out, and he's like, "Hey, I got something special for dinner," and here he is pulling everything out. And it kind of sucked because all we had was our little individual cooking stoves. So like, okay, hey, the sausage is done. Here, mix the gravy, then add it in that. Okay, here, I got to make the biscuits in aluminum foil, but it turned out really, really good. Just the experience, the quality of the food was there. It was good. The best thing that I've had like immediately getting off trail, and I think that can maybe still kind of count in this category. We did a 22-mile hike somewhere, I don't even remember where, and we found this nasty hole-in-the-wall ice cream stand burger shack on the side of the road. $9 for a burger, fry, and a small ice cream cone. I don't know if the burger was that good, but it was the greatest burger I've ever had at that time.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Wherever we went this last trip on Otter Creek, that's probably the best burger I've had, and I'm gonna tell you that sucker was like this big. Like,
Okay.
I ate about a third of it and left the rest and ate some of the fries because I knew that I'd have to. I definitely finished it on the way home, but I knew after that I was getting donuts. And Rich knows exactly where we ate at. I don't know the name of it. He can put it in the comments there if he's still on here. And I want to tell you the donut place. Whoo, let's just say I got a dozen donuts and ate 6 of them.
Acceptable. I don't. Yeah, that's math.
I mean, 20-mile hike. I was like, yeah. I was like, yep, still good. And then it was funny because the next day I got up and I was like, I had to have gained some weight eating all that crap because I eat the burger and fries on the way home too, plus the donuts and and I was like, I got up the next day and I was still like 6 pounds lighter.
Okay. I know.
But like I said, it's just where I don't get enough calories when I'm on trail, and it's just very hard to do because I can only eat so much during those times.
Do you do pizza at all?
Yes, I like pizza as well. That's pizza and burgers are probably my 2 favorite when I get out off trail.
So there's this little town. I believe it's Davis. There's 2 towns real close to each other near Blackwater Falls. There's a pizza joint called Sirianni's Pizza. Wood-fired pizza, fresh. You can see into the kitchen. You can see them make it. Very, very good pizza. If you're ever over in Dolly Sides, it's not too far from there. I highly recommend it. But if you like garlic, order the garlic chips. Now, I like garlic, and they'll tell you in the menu an offensive amount of garlic. I took offense to how much garlic they put on there. Again, if you're in the Dolly Sides area, I highly recommend that pizza joint. It's a real small little mountain town, real cool little area. One of the best pizzas I've ever had in my life.
There you go. He said CJ Maggie was the restaurant, and then the donut shop, and they're right there. When you're coming in, do you come in through what's the name? You come off 79 there, and you're turning into can't remember the name of the town there. Rich, you're sitting there. You tell me again. What was the name of the area when you get off 79? Not Buchanan, but Buchanan is on the road. I just can't remember the name of what it is. But when you go through that road, as soon as you get off there, it wasn't too far. I want to say it was maybe Buchanan is where we ate at CJ Maggie's, but that was by far the best, probably smash burger. It said smash burger, and I'm going to tell you the patties on the smash burger. Yeah, there were smash burgers, but the biggest smash burger patties I think I've seen in my life. There you go. It's Weston.
Weston, okay.
Yeah, that's where we always meet up. That's where we usually try to meet up right in there, and then we drive in from there to, wherever it is, because kind of wet. When you go from Weston, it's all right there, not right off that main little strip right there, that road.
Yeah, I come
Okay.
79 and in Morgantown, I shoot over to Maryland and that way. I think it's 48. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, man. So you kind of answered our questions here. We're going to finish things up here. As you guys know, I have not posted any would you rather questions. I wanted to keep this in like we done a little bit different before. I want you all out there to get your would you rather questions. Go find some real quick. Get them posted in the comments here, and we will answer them together. What would we choose? And guys, and TJ, you didn't. I mean, you said it, but I don't know if you really said it. But what is your favorite post meal hike? Yeah, post hike meal. There we go.
Oh, ice cream, and I'm very lactose intolerant.
You sound like me, kind of there. Like I said, burgers and ice cream. You'll find me, and I ain't gonna lie. I cried a little when they took away the Flintstones, the Fruity Pebbles milkshake from Dairy Queen. I kind of cried a little.
Yeah, I go right for a pint.
The cheese, and I ain't gonna lie, that ice cream pizza does, because the cheese on there does the same thing. I guess the pizza and the grease, and always gonna go for the cheesiest and greasiest foods and ice cream. And like you, my stomach doesn't like it, and I'm definitely usually in the bathroom within an hour after eating.
Yeah, there we go. It's the pizza place. Rich commented here. It's in Davis.
There we go, Sirianni's.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you sharing.
He said, "Gotta have cash though. It
Yes.
must be good." Then I'm gonna tell you. I'm sure. Have you done any backpacking in Kentucky?
No, I have not. Kentucky is actually probably one of the states I've spent the least amount of time in.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you. If you like pizza, and they have ice cream, but not far away is Red River Gorge. I'm gonna tell you, that's one place if you want to get to Kentucky. I mean, that's in essence. I mean, when you come to Kentucky, there's two places you're probably going to end up. It's going to be Big South Fork, which is southern Kentucky into Tennessee. Then you have Red River Gorge, which is one of the bigger attractions of Kentucky for backpacking. And I'm just going to tell you, they have Miguel's Pizza. I'm going to tell you, it's probably, I say world renowned just because it's mentioned every time when you hear Red River Gorge. But if you like I'm going to say it's definitely a really good pizza. Not wood fired. I don't think it's wood fired, but it's definitely really good pizza. And they always have a good choice of we call it Kentucky Swamp Water L8. And if you ever had it, I love me some L8 after a hike as well.
Okay, sounds good.
He said Mountain State Brewing in Thomas has really good pizza as well.
They have a nice little bake from one of those small, like, while I'm here, I'll stop things.
Whew. Man, they're not getting in here with these would you rather questions. But do you have anything you want to ask me, man, while we're waiting on them? Get to know a little bit more about me that you don't know from the public side. I get public view.
I guess really one of the big things are what are some of your favorite places that you've been, and maybe what's your most memorable hiking experience? Not necessarily like your first one or your most memorable.
I'm gonna tell you that my most memorable, probably one of the ones that I've enjoyed the most, and it's one of my more current ones has been with my daughter. I love taking people on hikes. I love getting out and doing it myself, but I love taking people to areas they've not been and just seeing their face when they're there, just seeing what they're like, and then also introducing someone to the outdoors. And like my stepdad done with me, I do with my daughter. I'm getting her out. My father-in-law takes her hunting. I take her hunting. We do a lot of outdoors type stuff. But this last trip I did with her to the Grayson Highlands, I'm just going to tell you, it is definitely a trip that you have to do. And we did a little bit of the AT there. We did about a 17-mile loop, went around, hit the AT, went around Mount Rogers through the Grayson Highlands and route back around Mount Rogers the back way and came back out. And I'm just going to tell you that area is just something, just the views that you get of everything around. And then you have the ponies and just everything about the area is kind of like I put on the thumbnail. It's just kind of magical, and having her there, getting to experience it with her for the first time, seeing her face, and we really had a good trip. I'm just gonna say it's probably been my most memorable, favorite trip so far. And I'm gonna tell you my favorite areas is anywhere that's in the mountains. My favorite so far has been West Virginia. Like I said, it's kind of my second home. I end up there quite a bit. Usually there in PA, I'm going to tell you, those are, if I had to list my top 5 areas, it's going to be West Virginia. And I'm probably going to get hell for this because I didn't put Kentucky first, and I'm a Kentucky boy. I love Kentucky, but PA, and then Virginia, then Kentucky, Tennessee. That's my top 5.
Okay.
And I'm just going to tell you, the reason is the mountains. I mean, I'm not afraid to, I have a fellow buddy YouTuber, his name's Caleb. He says a lot he says in every video, actually, it's kind of his catchphrase, embrace the uphill. I'm not really afraid of the uphill. I'm eventually going to get up it. It's just, usually that's what I like. I like getting on top of them ridges, seeing the views, and eventually getting down off them ridges and being along the creek. I mean, it's just the mountains. I love the mountains.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Now we have Rich. He said, Grayson Highlands is pretty sweet. He actually they just got done, I think, doing very similar loop that I did with my daughter, maybe added a few more miles long. I think they did a 4-day trip out there for their that's part of their, I guess, they did it for their 50th birthdays this year. I guess they're all turning 50.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, man, anything else?
Honestly, we gotta get a trip together. It looks like we explored the same area quite a bit. It'd be nice to do a hammock hang somewhere down in West Virginia.
Heck yeah, man. I've been wanting to actually. We will be. We're still looking, but I'll be up. Rich, me, Tim, we're all going to be going to a concert in Pittsburgh in July, middle of July, I think. We'll be looking at an area to go to, man, and I'll hit you up the date. I'll tell you the dates, and if you're off, it's going to be probably a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of thing. And if you're off and interested, man, more the merrier. We haven't decided exactly where we're going to go. It could be Central PA, somewhere along the AT. It could be back down in West Virginia. We haven't really decided yet. Just depends on what we're going to do. Might try to, if we stay in PA, I might try to meet up with Don from Jacks Are Better. He wants to do an offline interview, kind of like what we're doing here. He just wants to do it offline while we're out backpacking, which I think is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, man, if you're interested, I've got your number now, so I'll shoot you the dates. I'll shoot you the dates when I get off here, and if you're interested, we'll start working on trying to find somewhere.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely interested. Like I said, I try to get out as often as I can. This 3 weeks that has been the longest I haven't actually something up to stay in. But yeah, whether Pennsylvania or West Virginia, that whole area, like I said, I like all that. There's some area. Forgot the name of the trail. I have it downloaded on my All Trails. It's somewhere in eastern Pennsylvania. It's like a 72-mile loop.
Black Forest Trail, I bet.
Yeah, that's it.
It's on my list too. Okay. Like I said, PA's on my list, and I think after I knock out the foothills this year, that's going to be where I'm going next to start doing the longer loops, because they have the Black Forest Trail. They have, like you said, they have Minister Creek. They have several 30-mile loops up there that are really nice too. So we have Mr. Purple Gilly here. He said, "What are your thoughts on Haven tents? Been wanting to get out some more this summer with some friends. Need another hammock." So I've laid in the Haven, and it's much like my first. I had a nightcat lay flat, much like it. It ain't me. I prefer my gathered in hammock. I prefer being like a cocoon. And I'm gonna tell you, if you haven't looked into Dutchware, I know that they're a pretty penny, but you're going to pay that much for a Haven as well. Look at some of their quilted hammocks if you don't have one. I'm going to tell you that I got my wife one. She loves it. You can do custom stuff with it, and you'll have a setup that no one else has. That's what I'm going to say. Make it custom, make it for you, make it the end all be all. You ain't going to have to buy another one because you know it'll work for you. Well, I say not buy another one, but if you're like me, you're going to buy another one.
I've never seen a Haven live other than talking to people in passing. But you mentioned Nightcat. One of my good buddies, he has a Nightcat. Again, not my thing. I prefer. You mentioned it perfectly. I want to be a cocoon swinging in the breeze. That's to me the great part about hammocking. I don't want to lay flat. But his actually had a pretty traumatic incident where in the middle of the night his whole tent hammock went inverted. He actually woke up on the I will say the construction of that particular Nightcat tent was impressive because it withheld his weight. But that's my only experience with honestly either of those.
Yeah, I've still got the Nightcat, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm keeping it just because it worked great, and I'm gonna say that it's a great beginner hammock. If you want to get someone saying, get them off the ground and say, this is what hammock camping is like. You're off the ground. You don't have to get up like as we had him on a few weeks ago, Mr. Fancy Nancy. He's like, you got to get up out of a tent. Do you do that in your bed at home? No, you get out of the bed. Well, you get out of the hammock. So it's the most natural thing.
It's a very good way to put it, actually. I always find I sleep better in a hammock. But for far hikes, weight hikes, yeah, the tent was better. I do keep a Gossamer Gear the 2, and I actually keep a hammock just in case the situation arises. But yeah.
Oh man, I don't think they're going to get on here and do the would you rather. So next, I'll have to get you on. Well, I mean, we're gonna have some trips together, so we'll get you back on. We'll be back on here again sometime, and I'll go back to the scheduled would you rather, guys, since you all seem to enjoy that more, and we'll have for this Thursday. I'll get them posted tomorrow. We'll have our 5 on there. You all pick your top 3, and then we'll have those 3 answered for our guest for this Thursday. And guys, I want to thank Thomas for getting on here, Mr. TJ, fellow adventurer, fellow hiker, AT hiker that is going to finish the AT, right?
Oh, absolutely. I made 24%. I'm not going to leave that rest hanging out
No,
there.
I feel you. If I done that much, yeah, no, that's a goal right there, man. I want to thank you for getting on here and discussing your adventure, your adventure stories with me. It's what this is about. I love getting on here, talking with people, getting to know people better, and other people getting to know these people better because we're all in this together. We're all getting out in nature, exploring, doing the stuff that we love because what it does for us. And I just like for other people to get to know these people. So, but I want to thank you, man, for getting on here. And guys, I want to thank you all out there for getting back in here tonight with me on this non-Thursday Happy Tuesday episode. And I want to thank Thomas for being very understanding once again since we had the issue arise last week and he agreed to come on today. I want to thank him. And guys, get out there and do what you love. If it's the outdoors, get outdoors, but do what makes you happy because in the end, that's what matters. And you adventurers, y'all just keep on adventuring. I'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.